Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, specifically for information security. And they label it as information security analyst, but it kind of lumps everything in together as cybersecurity. There is a summary page, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. And there's a whole bunch of little tabs that you can look through to see how the job market is coming through right now. So actually, someone introduced this to me, and I wasn't even sure where it came from originally. In my last video, where the CISSP clickbait stuff, they had a percentage of the job growth from 2023 to 3033. So that's like 10 years out, and they had like a 33% increase in job availability or jobs opening for cybersecurity specifically. So I do want to go over that briefly, and then I want to go over an article that I found online as well, claiming that YouTubers and all these programs available for cybersecurity makes it so glamorous and easy to get into and land these six-figure jobs, but in reality, it's not that easy. So, and I'm sure you still catch these videos here and there, and not on this channel specifically, but I do talk about certifications, but it's not the end all be all after you get a cert, right? Because you can earn your Security Plus and it doesn't guarantee you a job. You can earn your CISSP and you can still get laid off. And I've spoken about in the past, previous videos, people have been getting laid off. I mean, it's just part of the vicious cycle of employment, right? You're working for a 9 to 5, you're not guaranteed anything unless you're working for the government. And even then, it's a little debatable. But for the most part, government jobs are more secure, a little more cushy, but the pay isn't as high as if you were in the private sector. So let's dive a little deeper into the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So here is the information security analyst, and it's an outlook, right? It's not set in stone. It's they try to trend it so they can get accuracy, but in all honesty, there is no accuracy to this. Like anything could change. Like AI has taken over to a point where the job market has been eliminating a lot of developers because AI can do most of it now, or at least not having to have programmers dedicated for it. Someone can just use prompts and get AI working, as efficient as having an onboard, on-site developer do something for you. All right. So anyway, the 2023 job median pay, and we're just averaging, right? This is by no means the only number that we're going to live by, but 120,000 is okay. But then it also depends on the region that you live in, right? So we're looking at the U.S. I mean, the U.S. fluctuates all the way from New York all the way to L.A. and everything else in between. Now, New York City, I know for a fact New York City salaries are definitely higher because of the cost of living, right? We got state tax, city tax, school tax, all this tax, and it is not cheap. Unlike other states where they don't have all those other taxes, especially the insane amount of property taxes, the insane, electricity bills that we pay here in New York City. I know, I do it all the time because if in case you haven't noticed, I used to run miners. I still have, my uh, 24 bay server still running. So yeah, I know about electricity. Anyway, so that's the salary range. It's a median pay. Of course, they're stating it here. It's not set in stone. This is not the number. It can be higher. It can be lower. It really depends on your position and the experience that you have and who you're working for. So let's put that on this, as a consideration for all these numbers. Bachelor's degree at minimum. I understand a lot of you guys are going through a challenging time right now. School or work, right? If you go to school, you don't have money to pay for it. If you're not working, then where are you going to get the funds for it? But some of you are, have graduated, whether it's computer science and now more popular within cybersecurity, have its own degree in cybersecurity, which is unheard of during my time. I graduated with a computer science degree, so that was definitely something different from what it is now. I had to learn programming, I had to learn hardware, so networking and all that great stuff. I'm not too sure how the cybersecurity programs operate now, but I probably should grab a syllabus somewhere and check out what kind of classes they actually provide now for a cybersecurity degree. But let's keep on going. Bachelor's degree at minimum. That's what they're saying here. Okay. And the work experience is related in this occupation is less than 5 years. Now, that could be debatable. I would say if you have less than 5 years of experience, if now we're not saying zero experience, you have at least 1 to 5 year experience, this is where you sit, right? And if, of course, if you have more than the 5 years, you're above this because I've gone through it myself, and I know people, anyone above 5 years of experience in cybersecurity, or let's just say using this example, information security analyst, is definitely making more than 120,000, or if not within that range, 120,000 to 130,000. Okay. On the job training, none. Let's see what that actually means. Additional training needed post employment to attain competency in the skills needed in this occupation. Okay, so they're pretty much saying that there is no additional requirement for training, which I do not agree with, because any position that you land as far as IT, cybersecurity, or whatever the profession is, always requires or demand additional training to keep up to date with things. So I'm not sure why it's put as none over here, but I'll try to figure that one out a little bit more. So number of jobs in 2023 to where it is now is it has grown to 180,000, and this is just the explanation of what that actually means. The employment of the size of this occupation in 2023, which is the base year of 2023 to 3033 employment projections. Oh wow! So they're forecasting the whole 10 years out that it's gonna grow from 2023 to 3033, another 180,700 job openings in regarding cybersecurity. Now, that is a big range of numbers. That is a big range of cybersecurity across the board. It could be pen testers, black hat, white hats, and all those different hats. And of course, different roles that you can play, GRC and all that. So the technical and the non-technical, it goes into all of that, because cybersecurity apparently now is a lump sum of everything that you can think of that pertains to cybersecurity, even if it's not really technical. All right. So that's a big increase. So that job outlook is estimated at 33%, much faster than average. And when they say much faster than average, it's probably those other jobs that are not cybersecurity related, and their growth is a little slower, right? Okay. So employment changes in 2023 to 3033, and let's just take a look at what this means. The projected numeric change in employment from 2023 to 3033 is 59,100. Now, I'm still not clear what that actually means. If you understand what that meant or what that means, comment below and let me know what that actually means. I'm a little stumped on this one. The projected numeric change in employment from 2023 to 3033. Employment change, unless I don't understand what that means. Employment change as in like people are shifting careers, or possibly, right? So anyway, we go through the details of here. Work information security, what they do, the type of work environment. Most information security analysts work for computer companies, consulting firms, or businesses and financial companies. Honestly, it's across the entire spectrum of any career that you can think of that has an office, and they have cloud-based, they have IT guys, they need cybersecurity. I don't think it's only limited to computer companies, consulting firms, or businesses and financial companies. I mean, this is broad. I mean, or businesses. That covers practically anything. It could be a movie production studio and they still need cybersecurity. So I feel like this comment here, or this explanation here, is just too broad. They basically should have just said any company, right? It doesn't even matter if it's a consulting firm or financial company. It's just a business. Everything's a business. Everything that they just labeled here is a business on top of that. All right. Apple, Microsoft, everything, NVIDIA. All right. How to become an information security analyst. All right, this is a good one, right? Information security analyst typically needs a bachelor's degree in computer science field along related work experience. Employees may prefer to hire analysts who have professional certifications. Certifications do help. degrees do help, but experience really, really do help. And when you gain experience, it doesn't even have to be just professional experience, meaning you actually work for a job. Labs, courses, schools, internships, those definitely count as experience. And I would definitely put that down on resumes. And the median wage, annual wage for information security analysts is 120,000 plus in May of 2023. So a lot to absorb here, and this is just a summary, right? And then it goes into what they do, what information security analysts do, and it labels every bullet that they can think of here to categorize cybersecurity as a whole on this one page. What do we do? And I could honestly say by reading some of this, check for vulnerabilities in computer and network system. Yeah, I do that. Research the latest information technology, IT security. Yeah, I do that too, right? I could randomly help computer users when they need to install, learn about new security products and procedures. Yes, but to a higher level. And when I say that, I'm not dealing with end users specifically. I'm creating, proof of concept for vendors, and they're teaching me how to operate their product, right? And then I'm working with my seniors to relay that information back to them. So new products could be like, new EDRs, IDSs, IPSs, and all those great tools that we use in cybersecurity is probably going to fit into that category. So wow, right? What information security analysts do, and I would probably retitle that to say what cybersecurity professionals do, and that would probably consume every person that's watching this video right now, not just information security analysts, which is probably similar. You guys can probably debate that. Work environment, and of course we just went over that briefly. Computer system design and related services, financial insurance, information. It's everywhere. Uh, it's not. I wouldn't say it's focused in one particular company more than others. Although I'll take that back. It does, but hotels need cybersecurity specialists. They have positions for that. And how do you know what industries are looking for cybersecurity? Very easy. Log into your LinkedIn or any other job board that you're familiar with and search cybersecurity. And then you see the type of industries or companies that they're looking to hire from. And I know because I had experience casinos and, gaming industry, online gaming. And we're talking about like, online sports book betting, all of those guys, because they deal with so much money and high volume of transactions every single day. Trust me, they're looking for cybersecurity professionals all day, every day. All right. And what is more helpful than how to become one of these guys, the cybersecurity or information security analysts like myself and the people who are watching this video and the more seasoned professionals? How do you become one of those? And here they get a little deeper into it. So education, bachelor's degree at minimum, computer science or cybersecurity related, studies, right? It could be programming, it could be networking, and all that. Plus, now, of course, cybersecurity is a really hot thing. So schools, colleges all have programs catering specifically for that. So you kind of like skip steps, right? You're not even like crawling anymore. You're walking and running right into cybersecurity, which is pretty amazing around this time because there's so many different options to choose from. And I'll go over that in more details later on about how, different schools and all these different programs and how it would be beneficial to you growing as a person in trying to get into this field. Okay. Work experience is in a related occupation. Now, that's always key, right? And if you're watching here as a new person coming into this field and you have no real world experience, and how do you break that ice and try to get in? You really have to sell yourself. It's just like a big sales pitch at this point. I mean, let's look at it this way. Every car salesman, and I'm just going to use this analogy, every car salesman had to start from not selling a single car, right? They had to start somewhere. So whether you start in a lower tier industry, like you don't start off selling cars right off by selling cars. You didn't start selling houses just by like going right into it. You had to learn it, right? You could probably have learned it to sell things at a shoe store first or a clothing store, right? And then you move your way up. So in essence, cybersecurity is no different, right? I believe in my honest opinion is that you have to start from learning IT in order to get into the more technical stuff of cybersecurity. Now, granted, there's other portions of cybersecurity that's not technical, and that will be like the governance, risk, and compliance stuff. You would probably need to understand those concepts more before you start writing policies and doing audits, right? So you need definitely need training to elevate your progression of education, and you can't just jump right into it. All right. So license and certification and registration. And here, of course, they list the top two, which is Security Plus and the CISSP, and so on and so forth. It keeps on going. Advancements, information security may advance to become chief security officers or other types of computer and information system managers. So those are potential levels of growth you can get into once you obtain all the experience, all the certification, and all the education. That's your end goal, right? If you're going to stick with cybersecurity to the end of it, if you ever want to become one, is a director or CISO or within that realm, right? And you can become a higher tier, in within cybersecurity. Now, granted, a lot of the people in those type of positions are no longer technical, but of course, that all depends on the type of industry that you're getting into. Now, if for whatever reason you have this passion for being technical and loving all those technical things and all the new stuff that comes out, like myself, maybe being a CISO is not the option for you. But that's not to say that it may never happen. Who knows, right? So everyone would have a preference to what they want to do as time goes on. So again, important qualities. I think these are all very generic. That applies to any profession with a communication skill, creative skills, detail oriented. I think that goes without saying for any profession. All right. So of course, and here is the pay. So they break down a lot of the pay, and this is probably what you guys are most focused on, right? Information security, finance, and insurance. So in May of 2023, the median annual wage for information security analysts in the top industries in which they worked where they worked were as follows. So if you worked in information, and I believe information would be like any technical company, Apple, like I said, Apple, Microsoft, and Google, and Amazon, and all those big companies, then that's the medium salary range. Of course, I said also depends on the region. So, but taking this in consideration, this is a pretty high pay anywhere. All right. It doesn't even matter what state, but some of you may look at this and go, wow, that's like beyond what I think I'm going to be capable of making right now. It is if you're starting off or you're between that 1 to 5 year experience. Now, if you're beyond the 5 years, I would say it gets a little easier to obtain because people start acknowledging and seeing your experience and that you have been to different industries or you have this many years in this particular industry that you're in right now, and you bring value to the company and the corporation. All right. So, but of course, here they have their numbers laid out for you. Not every organization offers top pay for the same role. So, of course, and if it's a smaller organization, let's just say between 100 to 500 employees, they may not be offering you the 133,000. They may be offering you the 110, the 112,000. So you really have to pick and choose. But sometimes beggars can't be choosers depending on how the job market is right now. And of course, we all know based on my videos, the job market isn't the greatest right now. So, and that will lead me into my next article I have right here on my top tab, but we will go over that in a little bit. All right. Job outlook looks promising. Of course, this is what, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistic is saying. From 2023 to 2033, it seems that the percentage increase will be 33% between now and the next 9 years, because we're in 2024, we're going to 2025. In the next 8 years, in 2033, we would have increased 33% in the job market, in employment. All right, so they're going to be hiring more people. So this is where the numbers are coming from. And again, I thank the individual who pointed this out to me, and I just did a whole deep dive into this whole analysis of the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics on cyber information system. So state and area, this is where it actually gets into more details of, the different areas and across the U.S. So let's just take one example right now. Occupational employment projections are developed for all states by LMI, or individual state employment projection offices. All state projection data are available here. Okay. Information on this site allows projected employment growth for occupation to be compared among states to be compared with one state. In addition, states may produce projections for areas. There are links to each state's website where these data may be retrieved. So that's awesome, right? So they're actually breaking it down to individual states, and you can get that information to see where you're located, geographically, to see if you're in the middle of like Ohio, you can see, or Indiana, you can see what that job market looks like. And of course, right now I don't have that kind of video gathering or evidence right now to show every single state and then bring it back to you. Oh, maybe I can. Comment below if you want me to deep dive into particular states, or want me to go through the entire U.S. state for state to see how cybersecurity actually lays out. But I know for a fact, because I'm in New York, the job market is pretty open. They are looking for a lot more experienced people than I see no experience, meaning they're not bringing on more people now to train like they did a couple years back. They are experiencing cutbacks, so they're looking for a individual that has multi-talent, multiple knowledge in different areas of cybersecurity. I know that sucks because everyone is supposed to have their specific role. So if you know how to do vulnerability assessments, you also should know how to do patch and incident response and threat hunting and all that other stuff, right? It's like a individual that has multiple talents in one, and that's what they're looking for. And when I say that, those are the golden unicorns that are rare. But even though I'm not saying that they don't exist, they do, because you may be watching me and say, hey, I could do all that stuff, but you're one out of how many that can do that stuff. But then when the time comes and they give you an offer, is it what you're expecting? So there's the other challenge, right? They're underpaying now and also looking for these golden unicorns. So it keeps on going. And then you're going to be looking for the next position that's available to entertain that, right? So there you go. That's my reasoning. And of course here, this is great because this goes over similar occupation. All right. Computer information system managers start making the bigger bucks, right? I was going to say, I'm in this range. I'm not going to lie. I'm in this range. Computer network architects, computer programmers. This is dying day by day because of AI. And you can tell even from the salary itself, the medium salary, it's not the greatest anymore. If anything, I've seen a lot more people being laid off in this particular category. All right. Computer support specialists, computer system analysts, so on and so forth. You can go through all the entire detail, and you can go through more info. It's links to other agencies or other articles related to this particular information security analyst. All right. Then I wanted to go briefly, because this is running a longer video. Here, I was just, I was looking for articles, and of course, this is dated back in November 4th of 2024, which is not old, but a month back, right? A month ago. And it pretty much just says that, the market is really tough right now, which is true. There's a lot of hopium. And when I say hopium is, there's a lot of people on YouTube that may say, oh, get this certification, get that certification, and, you'll guarantee 6 figures. It just doesn't happen that way anymore. And this is where we are in that quote I just wanted to point out. We have all seen from the university promotions to YouTube influencers claiming you can start an entry-level cybersecurity job with Security Plus certification and no experience, no XP, right? Biggest load of crap I've heard in my lifetime. Cybersecurity is not an entry level. Even for GRC, governance, risk, and compliance, you need compliance analyst or risk management experience. One of the most popular community posts in a month said, it's similar on LinkedIn. Security strategists and innovators Rafael Loss, said he sees cybersecurity people all over out of work for months and months with jobs drying up or worse, never there to begin with. So yeah, I mean this. I'll link both of these articles and what I'm speaking about in the description below. It just goes really deep into where we stand right now in 2024, and we're ending this. But there was one hope that's going into 2025 that this all may turn around, and I'm not just saying that. Is there reason to believe that it is? Yes, because in the same article that I just spoke about, there is still some hope, right? And if you look at the US labor and statistics, you see that the growth is supposed to be there. But just like anything else, just like the stock market, there's ups and downs. There's sometimes there's more down and sometimes there's going to be a huge up. And of course, we have seen that with Bitcoin itself within the last couple of weeks or couple of months. So you can take that however you want. I wanted to share all this information with you. I want to say that it's still promising. It's a career. You have to, if you, this is what you want to do and this is what you enjoy, you have to take that stepping stone and learn what it is that it provides as far as cybersecurity. Because cybersecurity without IT, there is no cybersecurity. Remember that. And there's no, easy way or easy track to get into cybersecurity without learning the basic fundamentals, knowledge, IPs, networking, TCP, all that great stuff that's been taught many, many years prior to even cybersecurity being a household word, right? Scamming, phishing, and all that. It has become what it is today. And a lot of people are fixated on targeting individuals to market that and trying to make obviously money, right? It all comes down to money and market. But I've been doing IT for 20 years, and this is kind of like the share my personal stories with you. And 20, 20 years in IT, right? 20 plus years in IT. It wasn't until my 10th year after becoming a senior networking engineer, configuring routers and site to site VPNs and configuring all that great stuff, that I only become a cybersecurity professional when the CIO of my previous company gave me that offer and gave me an opportunity because he wanted to promote within. And I was ever so grateful to him. And ever since then, 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago, I have become cybersecurity to where I am now. That's not to say that I lost track of anything else that I've been doing, configuring routers and working on the cloud, AWS and Azure and all that DLP stuff. I still love doing all that because that's what drove me to become IT, right? Doing IT work and studying computer science, learning about programming, doing Java, early stages of web page development, HTML and Flash and all that great stuff that I still enjoy. I wish they still had, but they don't have anymore. And everything is just very template, automated, white and gray, kind of like modernized McDonald's, where I miss the old McDonald's with the golden arches and the red and the playground and all that. Builds character. But now it seems like everyone, even logos, have all the similar look and feel to it. So maybe I just went a little off tangent. But hopefully you took this video as informational and help you in your journey. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. I am still responding back to individuals who have reached out to me for resume reviews. And I'm getting back to you. I know I'm getting back to you because you're responding back to me. So hopefully I can help you guys out there. And I'll see you guys again really soon. Take care.